we're going to talk about, with Super Bowl Sunday being tomorrow, we're going to talk about our top 10 football movies of all time.
Yeah.
What'd you think of when you were compiling this list? Did you find it easy to do, hard to do?
Got a little hard because there's only 5 I really, really like, and then actually I'll say probably 7. 7 I really, really like, and then the rest I like but not overly.
I had a hard time. I found the top, like you, I found the top 5, 6 really easy to come up with, but movies like 7 to 15 were really hard because I found them all like the same level.
Yeah.
And kind of pick one or two. I bet you if you asked me to do this list again next year, my numbers even anywhere between 7 and 15 might change. Even maybe 8 and 15.
We're only doing top 10. Why'd you do 8 to 15?
No, I'm just saying, I wrote down all the football movies I really liked.
Oh, okay.
And then kind of went through. I actually had a list of 22, and then slowly got lower and lower.
Okay.
I don't just look at the first 10 movies I see that I like and write them down.
No. You don't have to do that.
I'm making fun of you because that's probably what you did.
No, that's not what I did.
All right.
I saw the first 20 movies I liked.
Let's give our audience what they've been waiting for, our list of movies. So my number 10 movie is a movie called Draft Day.
You get to start, okay.
You started last time. So Draft Day, for those of you who've never seen it, stars Kevin Costner. And I like it because it's a very different perspective on a football movie. It takes place over one day, and Kevin Costner plays the GM of the Cleveland Browns on the day of the NFL draft. And it's about what to do with his number 1 pick. So he ended up having the number 3 pick. He traded up for the number 1, and he gave up three first round draft picks over the next 3 years. And what I really liked is we got to see what how you relate with other general managers, how you relate with your salary cap analyst, how you relate with your coach. I thought the coach in this movie was hilarious.
Yeah, the coach was great.
Berating the general manager when he took the guy who was projected to go eighth in the first round first.
Yeah.
And then he ended up trading down for to get all of his first round draft picks back.
Yeah,
it was really good.
It was crazy. A lot of people hated it because they're that's not realistic.
But it is realistic. We saw it a couple years ago with the Washington Redskins when they traded 3 first round draft picks for RG3, or
Chicago Bears traded for Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, the Browns traded away their first round pick to Philadelphia to get Carson Wentz. And they traded away their pick to the Rams to lose out on Jared Goff. There's a lot. I think the KC Chiefs traded up to get Mahomes. People trade picks all the time.
Yeah.
The Leafs just traded a first round draft pick to get Jake Muzzin. Mm-hmm. So it happens.
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed it. I liked it for that.
It's a positive film, right? Kevin Costner's father was in part of the staff, and he had to fire him before he died. We see his mother in the movie. It's really
his
good.
Father was the coach, right?
Yeah,
he fired his own father.
Yeah. It's the Cleveland Browns. They're a dysfunctional organization. It was good to see that something worked out for them.
Yeah, well, in a movie.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so that's it for that's my number 10. What's your number 10?
My number 10 is Draft Day. Same as you. I was trying to remember. I liked it. I remember when I left the theater, I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Same reasons as you. Like I said, people thought it was unrealistic, but as we look in real life, teams are making much more bolder moves now. And I feel like maybe they all watch this movie like, you know what, let's make blockbuster trades now and everything like that, right? So I'll just go switch to my number 9. It's When the Game Stands Tall. So I remember watching this movie, and I thought the reason why I like this movie is because the beginning really, really got me upset. I was like, it was hitting me right in the feels. I was like, no, that poor boy, no. And then it's just a good movie to watch someone triumph over, travesty. Everybody has, unfortunately, some terrible circumstances that happen in their life, and it's just nice to see that you either have two choices, right? You either learn and grow from it, or let this consume you and then just go into a downward spiral. So it's nice to see a more positive take on that. What about yourself?
My number 9 movie is Jerry Maguire. This movie is fantastic, and it's just another different take on a football movie. Instead of following football, we follow a sports agent, and we really get to see the cutthroat world of agency, right? The ruthless negotiations, the backstabbing that goes on with it. Tom Cruise plays the title character Jerry Maguire, and he writes this like article or letter to his company and basically says we shouldn't take on like 100 agents. We should keep it small, take on less clients so we can be more feel good to it. And he gets fired, and he has to call all of his players, and he ends up only getting really 2 of them, and eventually only 1. Rod Tidwell, right? Cuba Gooding Jr. And he basically helps him get a contract. He plays wide receiver for the Cardinal. He plays the season without a contract. He ends up getting hurt at the end. Oh, just a really good movie. And some great lines, too, right? To show me the money. And you had me at hello, right? Renee Zellweger. It's a very good movie. My number 8 movie is Varsity Blues. Have you ever seen Varsity Blues?
No, I have not.
You should definitely watch Varsity Blues.
I haven't seen Jerry Maguire either.
Let me tell you some of the cast in Varsity Blues. So you have Scott Caan, James Vanderbeek, Paul Walker, Amy Smart, Ali Larder, and John Voight. And all those young guys, that's like some of their first movies because it's from the 90s. So it's just showing you high school football in the southern United States. The crazy parents, the coach, John Voight, who's all about winning, win. He ends up like the starting quarterback is Paul Walker, and he's got some knee problems, but instead of letting his knee recover, he shoots him with like some kind of steroid or something to like make the pain go away so he can still play.
Like adrenaline?
Yeah. And it ends up costing him because he blows out his knee and has to lose a year and a half of his playing time. So he loses his scholarship and everything like that. So James Vanderbeek is the backup quarterback. He has to come in, but he is like a smart kid. He's popular with the teammates. Like he's well respected, but like the coach doesn't like him because he doesn't care to play football. Like he doesn't want to play football. He's just doing it because like his dad is like a crazy football fan and makes him and gives him a hard time. But we see like the popularity of football in the town, right? These football kids can do no wrong. Scott Caan actually steals a cop car and there's no consequences. The police allow the kids to drink. Like they basically say like you can come into like strip clubs. It's just things like that. It's a funny movie too. There are issues in this movie like one of the main characters, the offensive lineman, he gets concussed in like early in the movie, and the coach kind of makes him play. It's an issue that in the 90s was just beginning to come out, right?
Yeah.
And then like you rewatch it now, it's like wow, there's so many actual traits that we can take from that movie that we've grown so much. So I really like that movie. That's my number 8. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Well done. Okay, so my number 8 is The Longest Yard.
Which one?
The one from 2004.
So
with Adam Sandler. I really thought that movie was really hilarious. I enjoyed it. I loved the whole concept of a pro going to prison and then playing actual pros and everything like that. And even the one scene where at the time when I was younger, this scene like really, really upset me. I had no idea why. Like, where Chris Rock gets blown up and killed tonight. Yeah. I was like, when I saw that scene just really, I was like, what? He's dead? The next thing, like, you see it explodes. The next thing, you just see see the funeral that they have for him. And I was like, why'd they kill Chris Rock? He's so funny. I don't know why. I was really, really upset. But like overall, it was one of the better films that Adam Sandler released that I actually enjoyed.
Spoiler alert, and that's not on my list. I dislike that movie a lot.
Really?
A lot.
Wow. Crazy.
Your number 7 movie?
My number 7 movie is Undefeated. So this is about the high school football team it follows. It's kind of like a biopic kind of documentary kind of film like that. It's a little bit weird, but I remember watching this and I was really intrigued. They've had undefeated seasons all the time, and pretty much just follows a school and really sees the dynamic and the friendship between the build and what makes them build. It's a lot like you can see a lot of influences from like the Patriots and Bill Belichick through this movie, which I love, and which is probably why it got so high on my list because of that bias. And yeah, that's about it.
My number 7 movie is Brian's Song. Probably another movie you've never seen it, right?
No, I have not.
Brian's Song is another classic. In fact, my dad will probably be mad that I've only put it at 7. He probably thinks it should go like number 2 or number 3. It's the Brian Piccolo story, and for those of you who do not know, Brian Piccolo played with Gale Sayers in the Chicago Bears, or with the Chicago Bears, and George Halas was the coach.
He also fought Raditz with Goku.
Anyways, so Brian Piccolo was diagnosed with cancer, terminal cancer, and that's why he kind of struggles in his last season. Mm-hmm. And it's just a sad movie. It's like one of the 2 football movies that will make you cry. Like, I tear up when I watch that movie. And it's one of those movies that, believe it or not, this movie was made for TV. And it's just a movie that resonated with a lot of people since it came out. Like, Billy D. Williams plays Gale Sayers. I forget who plays Brian Piccolo, but it's just a really good movie. My number 6 movie is Leatherheads. I think Leatherheads...
Is that the one with George Clooney?
Yes, and John Krasinski.
Okay.
And Renee Zellweger's in this one too.
I haven't seen this one either.
It's a hilarious movie. It's in the early time of football, so it takes place in the 1920s. It's semi-based on a true story, except for the team that they're playing is the Duluth. I forget what their name is, but they're actually the Chicago Bears. And basically, in early time football, the NFL, adult football, was a joke. It was only college. And the league was kind of going bankrupt. Teams were falling out because no one was coming to watch them play. In fact, there were actually no literal rules of football really written out yet. So George Clooney, who's the owner / manager / coach / star player of this Duluth team, says if we take the best college athlete, which is what's his face, Grange, right? Something Grange, that in real life. But if we get him, because he's a World War I hero, he's this huge college athlete, if we get him to come play for our team, it'll make us relevant. And at the beginning of the movie, it's I would never go play football in the NFL. I got better things I can do. So it's just about about formalizing football rules. It's hilarious. It's just a great movie. I highly recommend watching it.
Okay. Perfect.
What's your number 6 movie?
My number 6 is The Replacements. So, really enjoyed The Replacements. I always thought it was pretty funny. Not gonna lie, this movie I don't fully remember. I just remember liking it when I was a kid. And just trying to have any more memories, this is one of the movies I have to give a rewatch.
You need to rewatch this movie.
Yeah. Because it's, but yeah, that's what I feel about it. And we'll go on to number 5, which is Rudy, which is a nice feel-good movie. It just makes you feel good.
5. Wow. Go ahead.
Why are you hating on it? I know. It's okay. Fine. You're upset with 5. Well, it's okay.
Go ahead.
Fine.
Explain. Tell us your reason.
Yeah. For me, I know everybody really, 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 really loves Rudy.
Have you even seen it?
I've seen this. I saw this in religion class, and it's a good feel-good movie. But the other movies I like a little bit more.
Rudy.
See, my problem with Rudy is he wanted to play so bad, but at the end of the movie, the team was winning anyway. I just felt bad. I was why wouldn't the coach just let the guy in? They're up 24-4. And there's no way this team's coming back. And it was there's 3 minutes left in the quarter, and they have to chant Rudy, Rudy, Rudy for him to play. And he's you know what? Fine. I'll give you the last play of the game. I'm you're such a, I don't know. I just feel the coach is such a a dick, to be honest. That's my opinion on him, right? But yeah, that's why I rank it a little bit higher than a little bit low than everybody else would. Okay. That's my reasoning.
That's your number 5?
Yeah.
All right. My number 5 movie is called Little Giants. Little Giants is a great movie. It's got Al Bundy, or also known as Ed O'Neill, who plays Kevin, and he's a former Heisman Award trophy winner, and now he coaches Pee Wee football for a living. And again, this shows us like football culture, but like Pee Wee football, not even high school or college football, as we've kind of talked about. And Kevin's brother, Rick Moranis, he has a daughter who's like this tomboy, who's just like this huge linebacker who would be like probably the best linebacker on this team. And Ed O'Neill, Kevin coaches the Cowboys, and when he's picking his team, he doesn't pick the daughter, Becky, his niece, also known as Icebox, to kind of give you an idea of her nickname. And so Icebox doesn't get chosen. She's sad. She convinces her dad to start another team, the Giants, the rivals of the Cowboys. So Kevin says to his brother, "You can't do this. There can only be one team." So he's like, "Okay, well, let's play to see what the team is." So the Giants are this team of misfits, these like the quote-unquote losers of the community. All of like the kids, like the asthmatic kids and this and that. And like Rick Moranis brings in like football guys like John Madden and some of the big guys of the time to coach these guys, to help them out. They end up finding a quarterback, Devin Sawa. And then, like you expect, like the Giants win in the big game on the last play. And it's the Mighty Ducks of football movies, which is fantastic. Have you seen Little Giants?
No, I have not.
Oh my god, you're like robbed of a child. Like, what good football movie you haven't seen? You haven't seen Jerry Maguire. You haven't seen Varsity Blues. You haven't seen Brian's Song. You haven't seen Little Giants. You're killing me here. You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're going on. Oh yeah.
I know it's my 4. Sorry. Yeah. My number 4 movie is The Waterboy, and The Waterboy is just a funny movie. Like, it might not be the best football movie, but it is hilarious and one of the funnier. I think it's Adam Sandler's second funniest movie. I personally think Adam Sandler has 4 like level 4 movies. Like, you've got Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, and I really think The Waterboy is like the last or the third of his funniest movies. And we have this character, Bobby Boucher, who is consistently bullied, and then he just loses it one day and knocks out the quarterback of the team. And the Coach Klein, who sees this, is like, "I just found a star linebacker," and he gets him to use this anger to be the best linebacker in the league. And this team that's gone 40 straight losses ends up going to the championship game. It's got an all-star cast with Adam Sandler, Kathy Bates, and Henry Winkler. It's just really funny. You've got it's got everything. Some good cameos from NFL players and coaches. Just really well done.
All right, so I'm gonna go. Man, you're gonna hate my list, but my number 4 is Radio. I love the movie Radio. This guy hates it for some reason. It's a nice, feel-good movie. Cuba Gooding Jr. has played one of the greatest roles I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, he did. In Jerry Maguire.
And in Radio. It's just one of those... I really like the turnaround. The team starts bullying him, and then he becomes a real big part of the team, right? They focus on him. I think Ed Harris is the one that plays the coach, right? They're like, let's do something for this boy. This boy he's just always by himself playing his radio, saying, "Radio, radio." And it's just such a great feel-good movie. And if you don't like this movie, you're evil. So that's where I draw.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is The Blind Side. Another movie where it's just nice. I'm not gonna lie, The Blind Side made me a fan of Michael Orr. So I always wanted him to win a Super Bowl after I saw this movie, because seeing where some of these NFL players come from. Like Michael Orr was homeless; he had no hope, and then this one family takes him in because they see the talent he has, and he was able to use that talent to go to the NFL. Right? It's just nice to see. It's just pretty much the American dream, right? You go from being total homeless to a millionaire. Like, who doesn't want to have that dream happen to them, right? All right, what about you?
My number 3 movie is Rudy. Rudy. You know what? This movie could easily be number 1. It was hard picking between my top 3. It's just a feel-good movie of feel-good movies. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just a small kid with heart. You know, Rudy is 5'0", 100 pounds soaking wet, but this guy plays like he's 6'7", 400 pounds. Just that's the heart he has, right? And you see this never give up. He works harder than any other player, and he gets chastised for it. I remember on the last practice of the season, and he's still playing like it's the first practice, and the one guy tries to fight Rudy, and he's like, "It's the last practice, and this kid's playing like the Super Bowl." And the coach says, "Yeah, that's why you're going nowhere with football. If you guys had if you had a sliver of Rudiger's heart, you'd all be NFLers." And it's just a really feel-good movie. It's got one of the best scores in movie history. And, you know, Xavier's comment about the coach, you know, the last coach that wasn't going to let him play, that's actually a little fictional. The coach was told that he was going to be a little victimized for Hollywood effect, but he said, like, that jersey scene, because that never happened, like, he was always playing that last game, the jersey scene never happened, and he was so upset. So Hollywood obviously fictionalized it a little bit. There was the crowd never chanted Rudy. He got into the game. But remember, it's a safety thing too. He's 5'0". Like, it's, you know, yes, he's got heart, but you don't want him to get hurt in the game. And
it's the last game. You don't let the man play.
He played. He got a sack. It was good. He got carried off the field. It was fantastic. It's just, you know what? Sorry, someone who's been like 7 foot his entire life doesn't understand what us small people have to go through.
I'm not
and having a hard time playing sports. Rudy is a guy that you can look up to. You know, Rudy is that underdog story that people can just relate to, because if anyone who's never had an opportunity because they've been too slow or too small or been chastised for a deformity or something like that, this is the person that you can look for inspiration. So I love Rudy, and if we ever get the opportunity to go through it, there's so many nice things I can say about it. My number 2 movie is The Replacements. This might be the funniest of all football movies. It's a movie that takes place with like the NFLers going on strike, and they put a team of rejects together. These are their guys that are either getting their chances or a second chance, and we see like this tough start where they all don't want to work together. They're all there for their selfish reasons. They get into this huge bar scene. They dance together in the jail scene. They come together as a team and win a couple games. And one of my favorite speeches in movie history is from this movie, when they're talking at a practice about some of their fears, and like they're all saying these stupid like fears like spiders and this and that, and Falco comes up and he kind of says like, you know, his biggest fear is quicksand. And not actual quicksand, but this idea, like in life, when one thing goes bad, and then you just kind of worry more, and you grip a little bit tighter, and then another thing goes bad, and then another thing goes bad, and then another thing goes bad. I think a lot of people have that fear, and they don't even realize. And I really like that scene. I really like how the star quarterback, like the best quarterback in the league, crosses the picket line, and the coach basically tells Flacco that, you know, you're out. And his quarterback's coming back, and then they're just getting destroyed. And Flacco comes back, and like they come back and they win on like the last play. It's just, you know, I can't say anything fun or inspirational. That just won't be our style. You know, it's a great movie.
Yeah. Sorry, my thing. So am I up?
You're up. Number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is you're gonna get pissed off. Remember the Titans.
I get pissed off. It's a fantastic movie.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were going to get upset that it's not number 1.
It's not my list.
Okay, true. So, really love Remember the Titans. This is one of the movies that I really remember because this is one that I've been rewatching constantly. There's only 2 movies that I've watched a lot more, which is number 2 and number 1, to be honest. But yeah, I really enjoyed Remember the Titans. Denzel Washington, excellent scene. As you can tell, it's one of the only movies where I remembered a line where I remembered a quote from. So from last week.
Can you repeat the line?
I can't repeat the line right now.
Go ahead.
But I know you could. So you do this, you do the 100 laps, you do this, you do that. You know that's
going to be perfect in every aspect of the game.
Yeah.
You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. Continue.
Perfect.
Though.
It reminds me.
Remember the Titans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those great movies, you know, and even though they don't actually win it all at the end,
they do win it all in the end.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. No, they win it all in the end.
No way.
Yes, they do. They do. They win it all in the end. They go undefeated. That's why they'll remember the Titans. Remember, they hold up the ball together at the end.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Friday Night Lights. That's the one.
Oh, Xavier.
At the end.
Oh
my
boy.
bad. I can't. I misplaced it with Friday Night Lights. But
that's kind of embarrassing.
Listen, your face is embarrassing.
Just continue.
All right, but it's a great feel.
Where they don't get it in the end.
They do get it in the end, obviously, you idiot. Weren't you just paying attention to the movie? But yeah.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Friday Night Lights. This guy, look at his face. He's so upset. I can just see the simmering rage.
Bad movie. It wasn't even my top 20 list.
I know. I don't know why it's not.
But anyway, continue.
Listen, everybody has opinions.
Yeah, that's true. Yours
Your
are wrong.
opinion's wrong, but that's okay. But
all right, just tell us about your number 1 movie. We don't want to hear mine.
But yeah, so really love Remember Friday Night Lights. It's just one of those where I was just always on the edge of my seat. I just could not stop watching this movie, and it was just so amazing for me. This is what really got me into football, which is hilarious. It wasn't really Remember the Titans, it's more Friday Night Lights. That's when I was like, oh, football's a pretty cool sport. It's great. What's your number 1?
Did you watch the TV show?
I didn't watch the TV show yet. There's way too much TV. There's too much good TV on.
My number 1 movie or football movie of all time is Remember the Titans. It's Denzel at his best. If you ask me for a favorite Denzel movie, it's Remember the Titans. Coach Herman Boone is just a character to respect. He is firm and he's strict, but he is fair. The best play. Doesn't matter if you're black, doesn't matter if you're white. He does not use race as an aspect. He treats the blacks no different than he treats the whites. Mm-hmm. It's just a role model that we should look up to and respect. The movie's emotional. The movie's real. The score is probably one of the best scores of all time. Barack Obama, when he won the presidency in 2008, and his not just inauguration, but in his like after the election when he won, they played that score just to show you how good it was. The story is just fantastic. The integration, the character relationships between like Bertier and Julius are fantastic. I love Will Patton, as he'll always be the guy from Armageddon for me, but he's great as Coach Yost. You know, he a character that just has honor to him, right? He won't step away from the team. He gives up his chance of the Hall of Fame so he can help his team. He respects Boone. And at the end of the day, when they hold up that football together after they win it all, that is one of the great scenes in sports movie history, in any sports movie history, whatever sport you're talking about. So that's our top 10 football movies. Let us know what you think. Do you have any honorable mentions you want to mention?
No.
Can I make a
If you don't agree?
Our producer Dave is showing us Any Given Sunday. That was not also on my top 20. Now he's showing us the program, not on my top 20 either. The 2 honorable mentions that I will mention are The Blind Side and The Express.
Okay.
I do make a recommendation for you though, Xavier. You have some movies to watch. Like you got to watch Varsity Blues, Little Giants, Leatherhead's Brian Song. You got some movies to watch.
All the movies that you talked about, I really like. I want to see Leatherheads out of all of them.
Oh, Little Giants. Have you seen The Waterboy?
No, I haven't.
Oh my Xavier! How many of my movies have you seen? You saw Draft Day.
Draft Day.
Rudy, Replacements, and Remember the Titans.
Replacements.
Man, you can't call yourself a movie. You got. How do you actually? I meant to ask you at the beginning of the podcast. How do you feel about last week? I've been talking to some people. They're laughing at you.
Listen,
some of my coworkers, the guy Dan who I go to the gym with.
It's okay, I'm just here for the. The giggles.
The giggles. I'm just saying. It's funny. Make sure you comment on what list is better. Clearly, it'll be mine because Xavier had Friday Night Lights as his number one movie.
There's nothing wrong with Friday Night Lights. It's a perfect movie.
Lots of things.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Anyways, that's it for us this week.
The first 10 out of 10 I've ever given
Next
a
week
movie.
on our podcast, we're going to be talking about the Lego Movie 2, and we'll see if there's some other movies that come out. We're going to go with Valentine's Day coming up. We're going to go to the vault and talk about The Notebook.
Ooh, that's one of my favorite romantic dramas.
Very good. I'm excited to talk about it. Guys, you have a great week. Go Patriots, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow, subscribe, and like us on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. And if you think my list is terrible, it's okay. Talk crap on the YouTube comments.
Please do.
Take it.
Take it easy, guys.
Take care.